Hey guys, so 3 days ago I created a Perplexity page, and when I search for Schema Writer WordPress plugin, it's ranking on page 1. So you can see here that I'm searching for Schema Writer plugin, WordPress plugin, and it's ranking down here as number 5 currently. So and if I search in incognito, hold on. So now I opened Firefox, Schema Writer WordPress plugin, and if I search incognito, or they call it a private window in Firefox, so Chrome doesn't have my cookies, etc., I'm number 4 with this Perplexity page. So Perplexity turns out to be the perfect Parasite SEO page, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can create your own Perplexity Parasite SEO page. So let's get started. And it's relatively simple actually. So Perplexity is special because we know it's somewhat similar to ChatGPT, but it's different in the sense that when you're asking it a question, it actually goes out and investigates real-time, scrapes websites, and compiles kind of like a Wikipedia style page for you. So it's not like WordPress where you can create an article and then you can edit it. You can somewhat edit some things in Perplexity, but not everything. You don't have you don't have control over the content. You only have control over the questions that you ask it. So what I set out to do was create a web page that could rank for Schema Writer WordPress plugin. And in case you don't know, Schema Writer is the platform that I made for generating schema. So you can enter your keyword and then you generate schema that looks like this in a matter of minutes, 2 minutes or something like that. And you can edit the schema real time. But that's not the purpose of this video. So the purpose was Perplexity. And yeah, so let me show you how to do this. So what you need to do is you need to sign up to Perplexity, and you need to sign up to the paid version. I don't remember what the cheapest version is, and I don't even remember if they have multiple levels. But I just signed up for the cheapest one, so that's what I needed for my testing. So log in, and you can see it's called Perplexity Pro because I'm on the paid version. And then I move the mouse over to the left side, and the library is here. Yeah, so Home, Library, Plus, and then click Page. Doot. And then you're taken to this overview. And so now you need to consider what your page should be about, and also who the audience should be. So the thing to consider here is that the page title, you can edit it afterwards, but the page title will be, what's included in the page title will be what the page will be ranking for. So in the case of my Parasite SEO page, Schema Writer WordPress plugin, that's what it's ranking for. Of course, if I search Schema Writer WordPress plugin guide, it will be probably ranking number 1. Let's actually see. So Claude is number 1 in this case, and then Schema Writer, and then Perplexity. So it's super important what keywords you enter here, but you can actually edit it afterwards. So it's actually more important that you give Perplexity good instructions. So I want to rank for something that's related to schema, of course, web page schema, something like that, and entities and Schema Writer. So let me type in here, what is web page schema and how does Schema Writer AI produce it? What role does entities play in web page schema? And the audience will be experts, because I'm guessing that if you are, so now I set it to work, so now it's thinking, and the reason that I chose experts is that if you are using a tool, a platform like Schema Writer, so you can see it's definitely not for beginners. All these schema fields here, even though that the system writes these schema lines for you, if you are interested in schema that looks like this, you are not a beginner. So that's why I chose the audience to be experts. So what it does now is that it's now working and it's now going out and it's searching for keywords related to what I just wrote and keyword variations. And you can see that it has already chosen the title to be Web Page Schema Entity Optimization. That's actually a good title. So while it's working, let's just see who's ranking number 1. Okay, so I am already ranking number 1, so probably I shouldn't target that keyword, but Schema App is here, KI Company, Roy Revolution, and so on and so forth. So let's go back. Let's see if it's done. Yeah, so it's already done. So what you can see here is that it kind of created an article, but with sources. So it's not like the typical WordPress article that you would create. So I definitely, when I'm searching for Schema Writer WordPress plugin and I'm landing on Schema Writer website, what you'll notice here is that this is a text that describes how the Schema Writer WordPress plugin works, how it functions, how to install it. What I'm not including in my WordPress website is, of course, I'm not including AI Contentify, Umbrago, and other sources, because that's not relevant for my business, right? But that's how Perplexity works. So if you want to use Perplexity pages to create these Parasite SEO pages, you just have to live with that it actually does include these sources. I think it's kind of like, it's okay. I think it's fine. I actually like it. So yeah. So what you can do is actually you can let's just scroll down. So this is how it is. That's the length of the entire document, and you can start out by editing the page title. So Web Page Schema Entity Optimization. That is not a very click-worthy page title, and probably also not something that anyone is actually searching for. What is Web Page Schema and how does Schema Writer AI create it? So what I have done here is I have now connected the question, what is Web Page Schema? We'll actually see who's ranking here. So Inlinks, Umbrago, Rank Math, and so on and so forth. So all these guys are ranking, right? So I have now connected the question, what is Web Page Schema, to the brand name SchemaWriter.ai. So that's nice. So what I can do next is I cannot edit this because this is written by the AI. If I click this edit button here, I can rewrite the intro. I don't want to do that because it's technical, but I do like it. What I could do is I could change this image. So this image is actually taken from the Schema Writer website backend, and I kind of like it, but it's not. I mean, if you haven't seen the backend of Schema Writer before, that looks like this. If you haven't seen this before, you probably, I don't know if this is the best representation of Schema Writer backend. So what I could do is I could click change, and then I can upload an image from my own computer, and I am prepared. So I took a screenshot. I'm not saying it's the perfect screenshot. I just took a screenshot from the Schema Writer homepage, and if I click Doot, then I can actually insert my own image here, drag to reposition. So I'm doing like this, because then the Schema Writer logo is here. Probably it's not the best image, but it's better than the other one. So anyway, I can click edit here, JSON LD schema implementation, and talks about JSON LD schema, a little bit technical in SchemaWriter.ai. I'll just add SchemaWriter.ai. So in this case, I'm connecting the brand name SchemaWriter.ai with JSON LD schema. I won't rewrite section on save. or yeah, actually let me do that. Yeah, let me do that. Let's actually see what it does. Yeah. So that's nice. Schema Writer AI implements JSON LD as the primary structured data format, and so on and so forth. Entity gap analysis, that's what we do in Schema Writer, and that's very technical, but let's just keep it at media. Change. You know what? Let me just go into view and let me take a screenshot from the entities here. Like this. Oops. I'm taking the screenshot. It should be in the backends. And let me go back to Perplexity. Upload image. And of course not there. Hold on, let me click pause. All right. So I found it and I inserted it, entity gap analysis. I think I'll just say entity gap analysis in schema writer.ai. I will not rewrite section. So now we have the Schema Writer homepage, we have the Schema Writer backend, and then we have a lot of text and super technical text here. So this is about one of the algorithms that we're using in the backend. So yeah, I think that it serves the purpose, because when you land on this page and you're reading the title, what is web page schema and how does Schema Writer AI create it? And you're seeing these things and you're seeing the mention of Schema Writer, there's a big chance that you're actually going to click on this button, Schema Writer, because that's what the title is about, right? So I will click publish, and share, copy link, and let me open a Firefox. I'm not logged in Perplexity here. So you can see, yeah, so I'm not signed in here, but so this is what it looks like when you're not signed in. So I can actually interact with this document, so that's very interesting. So let me actually just see one thing. Schema Writer, WordPress, plugin, Claude. No, that's not the one. Perplexity. Yeah, it's actually the same thing. I didn't notice before that you can actually interact with the document. But yeah, so there you have it, guys. That was a short guide on how to create these Perplexity pages. And once you have published it and once you have shared it and copied the link, you can't just sit and wait for this guy to index, because they won't index and show up in Google on themselves. You do need to use indexing services, and I use this. This is one of the guys that I use, Index Me Now. It's not cheap, but it's something that's needed in order to get these guys to show up in Google. So yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.